I think we're live.
Yeah, we're
There
live
was a
now.
bunch of there was a bunch of people. Now, do I have to do it on Facebook too? I have it connected to Facebook.
It should automatically come up, I think. I'm not sure.
Let me see. Let me see if it. Man, I need like someone with like a 12-year-old that can work tech to do this shit for me. Come on. Oh, I'm on YouTube. That's not even freaking Facebook, Michelle. Come on. All right, now I'm on here. I think I have to hit live. I don't know how to though.
Yeah, I did a Qigong video. I didn't have to do that. It just automatically did it.
Yeah, it says it's got a check mark next to my Facebook logo on the StreamYard in the corner.
Yeah, it's working.
It is working?
It's there. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's here yet or not. Some of my friends were messaging me asking me why I wasn't on yet. And I told them I was going to be a few minutes, so hopefully they're still there. I can't get into the chat for some reason either. Oh well. So did you get your coffee? Did it freeze? You're frozen. Shit.
I just switched for a second.
Yeah, it's just freezing. Did you get your coffee?
Right here.
If I drink coffee, it usually puts me to sleep.
Yeah, I can drink coffee and go right to bed.
Yeah, I can too. It doesn't do that for me anymore. Even though I didn't drink coffee till later in life. How can I tell if people are watching?
It'll put a little, I see a little eye thing up in the corner where it says live on the Facebook screen.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I see that. Where'd my phone go? Hold on.
Yeah, I was going to say, while we're waiting for people to come in, I'll tell you what happened to me there. I went to have a nap, and as soon as I shut my eyes, I went right to another timeline, like a dream state that was just as real as being here. Like I thought it was real. And well, I did wake up for a second, looked at the computer. It was only 9, so I said I can lay down for a few more minutes. Then I went right back straight to the same timeline again.
You were really traveling. And I hate when that happens.
And what was crazy, there was some young person just was working at a store I went to, and he started explaining to me of how the AI worked. It was just some kid said he was tapped in the AI, and he was explaining what AI was and how it worked. And then he was telling me how that we all come through the sun to get here. It was pretty interesting. I wish I could remember it all now.
Man, that is super interesting.
It was just some kid, but he had all this knowledge, and he was telling me all this stuff. Anyway, I left there. It was weird because I don't know where I was. I just thought it was me, right? And someone was talking to me. I was like, oh, cool, because he was talking about some of the stuff I talk about. Then I ended up, when I went home or at my house, it was a great big mansion.
It's a good dream.
Yeah, it got pretty crazy. Oh, I'll tell you more about it later. But you were there.
Feel like as real as this reality feels.
Yeah, but it ended up you were there as well.
I was in your dreams.
In that reality, yeah.
Where was this at, do you think?
I don't know, but you flew there because there was a knock on the door.
I flew? Like...
No, in a plane to come to where I was, to this mansion.
Damn it.
I remember in my dream, I remember going out the door and meeting you with your backpacks and your bags and stuff. But the funny thing was, I was asking about your flight, and you were like, "Oh, it's not too bad flying across the ocean." So you come from overseas to fly to wherever it was. But where you lived was like over in England or somewhere.
That's weird. Hi, Phil. Yeah, it's a live chat. It is. I lived on Guam for a year, which is in the South Pacific. It's in between like Australia and the Philippines. And that's the only place I've been over. I've been to Mexico. That's the only time I've ever been out of the country. I haven't even been to Canada. It's like right there.
But also it's funny. You flew from across seas to come where I was. Then I went down to the basement of this mansion, and my father was there because he's passed away. Right? He was in this rocking chair, and he was watching this video of all these presentations that you made.
Me.
Yeah,
This is a really good dream.
and I
Super
was like, I put
detailed.
down. I was like, what are you listening to? and
I'm
and
listening to
it was
myself talk.
yeah, it was some kind of a presentation that you did. He was watching it,
That's crazy you said that.
but
Did
he
you
was. But then,
go ahead?
then it got weirder because he was basically like, "Well, what she's saying is true because I've been there." Because I was like, then I was like, "Oh yeah, right. You're not supposed to be here. You passed away, right?" It was like he came back from the other side. I don't know. It was strange.
That's no, it's you're making me think. So like my mom died when I was 9, and I told you yesterday, like the day she died, I started getting actually the last conversation I had with my mom was I told her I hated her for leaving because I was trying to explain that she wasn't going to come home, and my parents, I was 9, they did not take me seriously. But when my dad came home the next day, obviously, like he realized what had happened. But I always wanted to like meet Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium, the lady that she's like channels the dead, right? Like that was the first person I ever saw in my life that had that ability. And like one of the first few weeks that I was in the chat on Rob's channel, there was this lady in Canada, actually. She was there for like her husband's softball game or something. And her name's Joanne or Joanna. But she was doing readings, and in the middle of the reading, she started doing a full mediumship on my grandma. And like I was
Oh wow.
incredible. Yeah, I was super close with my mom's mom. Like my mom was the oldest of 7, and my dad's like the middle of like 10. So big families, and my grandma, like she could handle kids, but my parents for some reason, like they just couldn't handle the energy in me. And my brother was much more calm. Like my brother and I are totally opposite. He doesn't talk and I'm the talker. But she basically like she said that my grandma didn't even like act like she knew she was dead. Like she didn't realize she could communicate with me like that. And I can't remember like my times running together now. I can't remember if that was before or after Renetta had passed, but it had to have been very close, like within a week or two. Because James Rink like read this letter during the like roundtable we held for her. And it was a letter from her to like all of us and her mom. But basically what he said was that when she had passed, that she had ended up somewhere underneath the surface of the earth, and there was no like water or sun there. And they opened a portal and they allowed her, she was able to get out through it. And they said that she was like crossing over now. And it just seemed like so weird to me. Like, they make the vehicle that we call death such a mystery. I think they do that on purpose so that we don't go inside. We have all this fear about it, right? And I'm starting to wonder if like when people die, if they're not even aware that something has changed. Kind of like being in a dream, right? Like dreams are weird. We know we go to sleep, but in the middle of our dreams, sometimes we don't have the capacity to go, you know what, this is obviously freaking not normal. Like, and wake out of the belief that we can't do anything about the reality we're in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, one time they celebrated death because they knew they were going back to the real self and out of here.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to a fear and a mourning thing where we all wear black. Then they attack the soul that way and us through the fear program of death. Then when our pass on relative, what do they do to them? They use the black box of Saturn technology because we all dress in black, and they put the bodies in a rectangle square. It was a rectangle casket.
Yep.
I think that has something to do with messing the soul up instead of how they used to deal with the dead. So now you just lock you in a box. I think it had something to do with the soul shards
That makes sense.
on the person that passed away.
Have you seen I don't know which sect of Jewish religion or whatever. I don't know the right words. Anyways, they wear the black hat like on their yarmulke, and it looks fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous. That's all I'm trying to say. So what the hell? If
It
they're
looks
trying
like
to
a
keep
black
it a
cube.
secret, they're not doing a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's all the black cube of Saturn cultism. I think a lot of stuff we see, graduation, and all kinds of things, right?
I literally found 3 satellites that are orbiting around Saturn, and I have the coordinates for them. And what they're doing is they're trying to like flip flop Mars and Earth. Like they want Mars to be a water planet, and they want us to be desolate. And like I look at all the other planets, and I'm like, they're either hollow, like Pluto's looks totally hollow, or they look like they've been reduced to like their basic elements, like they're just balls of gas. And I'm like, what happened there, right? Like all the rest of the planets were formed, and these ones were just left at the beginning, and they didn't finish it. But
Well,
they go ahead.
yeah, no, you're right. But I don't think we know what the planets really look like. We're only seeing the fake NASA stuff.
Yeah, never a straight answer.
Yeah, so I think the planets look different than what we think they're.
It's really interesting. Oh God, what was it? Fuck, I cannot remember now. Man, it was like right on the tip of my tongue. It'll come back to me. I cannot believe I forgot what I was going to say.
It happens to me all the time.
Man, I hate. No, it always happens to me like when I'm doing an interview or if I'm like giving a speech or something. I'll go off script because I'll lose my place and I'll just keep rambling. And no one realizes like that it's offbeat, but I know it's offbeat because I can't keep my thoughts straight at that point. Man, I'm really upset. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, and when I woke up from the dream, remember I was late coming on, getting back to you. I went to have my smoke with my coffee when I'm out, and that there's a ship that's outside of our house every other night, and sometimes it's not there.
What does it look
or
like?
something. Well, it's huge. Well, not huge. It looks like a star, but way bigger than a star, and it's yellow, and sometimes it blinks yellow and red. It hovers in one spot, and some nights it's there for 5 nights straight, then it'll disappear for a month. Then one night it's there, then one night it's not. And it's not a star because the constellations and the moon and stuff, it don't move. It'll either there, it's there or not, right? So
I think that's the one I see over my dad's house. Does it have like a mothership and then others come out of it? But there's many color lights.
It changes. Like sometimes it gets big.
Yeah.
But I seen it. This is strange, and my wife's seen this too. We've seen it in the sky, sit there for 2 hours, then move, and turn into an airplane, like shapeshift.
I believe you, man. I should present my screen. I have some really good pictures and stuff I wanted to show you.
Oh yeah, on the stuff you wanted to show us. Yeah, we can get into that right away because
some of my slides are not formatted, so I'm gonna have to zoom in. But hold on, just 1 second. I want to see who's coming. People said they were coming, Phil. It might just be a party of 3, but we'll have fun anyways. So just give me 1 second. Let me try to get into this, and I'll set the screen up, and we'll make sure everybody can see.
One thing with StreamYard,
I sent you some pictures.
When you go live to Facebook, it stays up for 30 days.
Okay.
So people can come back. People can come back on your channel and rewatch this for at least 30 days. Or you probably have because you have a paid account. Mine's free. You probably have an option to download this too. Then you could probably upload it to video through that way, up to YouTube.
Yeah, I did not mean to have a paid account. I thought I had a free account. I have this really good habit of getting free trials and canceling them on time and somehow still getting billed. Like I'm the only person that happens to. I got Canva free this month though, so that was nice.
Yeah, so you'll be able to. You can download this. On mine it says I can't, but you can download the show. Then you can upload it to your YouTube because that will help you get content going on YouTube too, right? By uploading this video after until you get enough subscribers to stream live. It's hard to get subscribers.
I cannot stand hearing. Go ahead. Sorry, I can't see you now. Go ahead.
Oh, you can't see me?
I've got the other screen up. I'm about to share it. So I can't see you and my other screen at the same time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They're in separate windows. But it's going to take me. You keep talking. I need a minute to set it up anyways.
Yeah, no, that's what I figured. Give you some time. No, say we try to get subscribers on YouTube. It's hard. It took me 4 years to get 200 people. You know what I mean? So it's tough.
Man, I used to have so many this is not the original Facebook account I had. I've lost it because I don't have that phone number anymore. I had the same number for like 10 years. And then I got rid of that service and I wasn't able to get logged in. I couldn't. They even said my birthday was wrong and stuff. And I have no reason to like make up my birthday. I remembered what I was going to say. The Mars Saturn thing with the satellites, and Phil's right. Elon Musk is trying to build like some kind of constellation and it's all low orbit. And I actually told Aaron, I have this theory, right? Like all these planes that were suddenly going down, it was like more accidents happened like in the last couple months with airplanes than I think collectively the last 10 years. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
I read an article like yesterday or the day before, and they said basically that there was a plane that took off and they were having major difficulties with just navigation and all of like their equipment because the satellites from Starlink were interfering with it. And I said, I was thinking back, like specifically that one accident that happened where it's like the helicopter was on the flight line and a plane came in to land, and the helicopter had been on like with the tower, and the tower, instead of saying move or you're not cleared to be where you're at, asked them to go to a different channel, and they never clicked over. They never came back. Like it just was such a like clusterfuck of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have one job as a radio tower operator. You know what I mean? And like, if somebody's in an unauthorized area, like you think there would be a protocol. Like I just couldn't wrap my head around it. Like it actually like really upset me because I was like, man, there's something really off about this, and we're not going to be given any information that's accurate or true.
Yeah.
But I think it has something to do with all the equipment up there, and I think that they're obviously trying to usher in this new age of everything is biometric and everything is monitored and there's like a social credit score and everything is going to be overseen by AI, right? And I think in order for us to agree to that, they have to create so many false flags or, make it seem like it's a natural disaster or an act of terrorism, but it's really not.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's it. Because the more problems they create, the more solution they can come up with, right?
Yeah. I don't want their solutions. They can keep their shit.
Oh yeah, no, we're not going to.
Man,
Kelly's
I
here.
think it was like I think it was the two guards that go ahead. Sorry, I hear you talking.
I'm just saying I said Kelly joined in.
Hi, Kelly. I can't see her. Hold on, let me come back. Hi, Kelly. I missed you. You're the party. She's fun. It'll probably, like, if we ever hang out, it's gonna be like obnoxious for everybody else. I can just imagine wherever we go, it'd be super loud. I'll smile later. All right, so let me go back and see if I can present this.
Okay.
Jay has given me no feedback. I sent him all these pictures and I was excited and I was like, can you see it? And you never said anything. So now I'm going to get to hear what you think about him.
Well, no, I get them, but I've been so busy to try to scroll through my phone and find them all and then go back and try to zoom in and look, right? So
you don't drop everything that you're doing the moment that I text.
No, I was going to do it when I got onto the laptop. But my laptop's so friggin' slow. I'll click something, it takes it 10 minutes to load it. I'm like, oh, this pisses me off now. But it's an older laptop I had for years.
No, I understand because I have it. Well, I bought my brother got a laptop and let it sit in the box and never opened it for 2 years. And then when I moved here, he sold it to me for like half of what he paid for it. And so I was glad to have a laptop. I hadn't had a computer in forever. But even though it's new, I've downloaded so much, like so many images and stuff, like downloading and looking at things. I filled it up already. I filled up the whole like RAM and the drive, and it's the speed of smell. And when I get on Canva, because there's so much stuff on there that I've uploaded, it's like bogged down. Even though it's in the cloud, it still acts like it's taking forever to load all the details and stuff. Even now, it's still doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, come along. I really want you guys to see this. And okay, let me put it into viewer mode. Viewing. I'm going to try to get all the menus off the screen. I should be able to go like this. Man, it's
It's funny
so
because I'm like,
blurry though.
oh, is it?
Yes, it's really blurry though. That's not what it's supposed to look like. Yeah, okay, this one's better. All right, we can do this. All right, so basically what I did was this. Rob lives like near or the outer parts of Pittsburgh, and I wanted to teach people how to do the seals and how to do the decodes. Actually, I should probably put that up first. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through. I don't think we're going to have enough time to get through it today because it's like 70 slides I've made. But basically, I want to give you guys just a quick like breakdown on how contracts are made between what's called the Luciferian Brotherhood or the Great White Brotherhood, or sometimes it's called the Druidic Council. They have many names. And it's basically a pyramid or hierarchy of bloodlines, and then it slowly trickles down into secret societies and regular orders like Freemasonry and stuff, where the majority of the people that are joining are normal, just like you and me, but at the very top, there's usually 1 to 2 people, in a region that are pulling all the strings. And even if they do have some information and they are giving orders, they're never given the whole picture. So it's very compartmentalized. And the information that I got actually came from a woman named Jessie Zaboter, who was picked like at birth by Satan to be the mother of darkness, is what they call it. And it's basically at the head of this hierarchy that is going back and forth between entities and humans. They have a woman, and she is the one that understands the entire system. And she has 4 other mothers of darkness that work with her, but they're not quite as senior in hierarchy as she is. So she has all the information, and she was trained fully by the age of 10. I'm trying to remember his name, Michael Aquino and Michael Carcott. Michael Carcott was like the senior Legion of Defense from Adolf Hitler. And during Paperclip, when they were bringing all those scientists over, he was able to come over here, and there's a lot of stories out there about Michael Aquino, and he's the one that like started the Temple of Set and stuff. So,
Okay, cool.
Have you heard of him before?
No.
All right. Well,
but
I'm just gonna tell you, this is not my own. I don't feel this way, but they are Nazis. Like at the top of this, it's gonna be 2 factions, and one's the Friary of Zion, and the other one's gonna be Nazis, and so. That's what you're going to see is a lot of the regalia and stuff that they use in their contracts. They're all about their symbolism, and they've developed an entirely, I guess it's a language that they put out in the public, and it just looks like normal stuff to us, but to them, they're able to read it and understand the signs. And so this is how they do it.
Right. Yeah.
Is it zoomed in enough, or do you need me to zoom in a little bit more?
Can
you see the screen at all or no?
No.
Oh, you can't see it? Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad. I thought you guys could see my screen. It should be. All right. Let's do this. Add to stage. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. And then is it big enough, or is it like really hard to see?
Well, it's small on my phone. I might go see my computer. I got a lag on my computer.
Never mind. It's on your phone. All right. Well, I'm going to try to zoom in. Okay. I just want to touch on this briefly because there's other stuff I want to show you, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I can see it on my computer, but I'm not sure about people on their phones.
All right. Phil, can you see it? I can't see the chat, so you're going to have to read for me.
See, it's smaller now.
It's smaller now? Okay, let me make it bigger.
Now it's back to how you had it.
Oh, then there's a delay then.
If you can make it a tad bit bigger, it might be okay, but I think that might be fine.
Okay. Hold on. Come here. There we go.
Kelly says we can see, so okay, that's
yeah. I need like those glasses you see those people wearing that are like, they're usually like snowbirds or old people where it like wraps the whole way around their face. Like I need like 2 inches of bifocal to see. It's kind of scary. I drive without glasses at night sometimes.
Yeah, I don't like wearing these. I only wear these when I'm on my phone or computer. Otherwise, I don't need them. But
Really, I always
Okay,
loved wearing
yeah.
my glasses. Like I thought they looked good on me, but I had some really nice glasses. They had like the transition lenses for the sun, and they had like progressive where they didn't scratch. But the best part was like the part that went over your ears. Like you could literally like bend them out and they wouldn't break.
No,
So they were Michelle proof. Yeah, man, they were like
yeah, these are just
$600 too. My insurance covered like 90% of it.
my glasses were $2.
Man, I
These
like
are
to. That's what my dad does. My dad has a whole bag of Dollar Tree glasses, and I go up there all
yeah,
the time trying to find a pair.
that's what I got.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
have
yeah,
I can't find my glasses. I don't know where they're at. So, and I'm too, at our house, we say we're frugal, but we spell it CHEAP, and I'm just too cheap to go buy another pair. I'm just waiting for the $2 pair to come in and I'll be able to see finally. All right. So,
that's an interesting picture. Yeah.
yeah, I made it. I made it by myself. I'm a
Oh
good
wow.
button pusher. Okay.
Yeah, that
So,
is good. That is good.
this is going to be representing a seal, and I do have a seal to show you guys, but I want to give you the layout first, and then we'll go through it. So this reads like a 3-layer clock, and on the outside, you're going to have entities or principalities that they are making blood covenants or contracts with in exchange for access to gates, in exchange for knowledge, in exchange for power. There's all kinds of things that they are doing, but they hold 4 major rituals a year. And those rituals do, they migrate. So sometimes they might be overseas and sometimes they might be here, but they're holding them 4 times a year, and they hold them usually during the spring equinox, Easter, Halloween, Christmas, and winter solstice. So those are the 4 major ones. And if you're wanting to know, like, if there's something going on in your area, you can actually download a copy of the Satanic Calendar for free, and it will tell you each ritual that is, with whatever holiday, whatever dates it's on, and it gives you a complete breakdown on what the ritual is and who's going to be participating in it. And the reason I'm telling you this is because they've developed an entire tunneling and network system that is out of the purview. It's not above ground. And they are gaining access to these tunnels through establishments and foundations that they've set up that look like they're on the up and up, but they do have that access. And every 7 miles underground, they have set up like a payload. They have an area where they have holding cells, depending on if there's, people down there, like young people, or they'll have rugs, or they'll have anything they're looking for. They're going to have it every 7 miles. And these are markers to let them know what's available in the area and who's in charge and what kind of, rituals they're doing or what kind of magic they're participating in. So the way this reads is anything up here at the 12 o'clock, this is going to be the area of Abaddon or Apollyon. Right here at the 5 o'clock, you're going to have Baal. Right here at 15 after the hour, you're going to have Moloch. Right here at about 25, you're going to have Baphomet. Now, in the middle right here, this whole bottom half of the inner part, this is Leviathan, and he has authority over the waterways. In the middle here, you're going to have Ashtaroth, and anything where you see like heavy coloring or a lot of detail in the middle right here, this is going to be connected to like a priestess group, or you're going to have ritualistic temples in the area. So they might have rituals or they might have sacrifices there. And they are using like sex magic basically to open up gates. So they're going to have, even on the military base, and they offer everything. So, and you usually can tell by the detail, like who it is. So there's some common ones, and I'll tell you who those are, but let me finish the clock. Right here at 35:40 after the hour, you're going to have Azazel. At the crossroad at 45, you're going to have Thoth. Right here at 50:55, you're going to have Samael. So, and then the next layer on the inside, this layer right here, there's always going to be writing. This is going to represent the Masonic lodges in the area and who has the authority. So whoever has the most amount of writing, so the font that they put around on this part of the circle, that's going to tell you, okay, it's either going to be like the Northern, like Blue Mason Lodge, or it's going to be the Southern White Lodge. But whoever has the most detail, that's who is going to be given the hierarchy of authority, and the other ones are there to support and recruit and train. If you see anything like stars or dots or crosses right here, that's going to represent like a DUM, like a deep underground military base, or like a science lab, or access to the underground. But you have to make sure it's in this space, because if it's like this, where it's on the line, like these dots, these usually look like pearls, and that's going to signify someone who's in the order of Melchizedek, and they do wear pearls and they represent tiers. And so if they're placed here, you're going to want to count them, because that's going to tell you that there's hierarchy councilmen in the area, and depending on how many there are, that'll tell you which council they're part of. The other thing too is that they will place these at like the city limits. These are regional markers. So the way this works is, this is like a compass. If you have like a printout of your state seal and you have a map that's like ratioed to it, you can place this on the map, and it's like a complete template for everything that's below the ground, how to access it and where.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's
we've got
amazing.
a lot to cover.
No, that's freaking cool. Like, I'm gonna have to try that over my map of the city. I mean,
Dude, I want to teach everybody how to read this stuff. Like Kelly and I were talking about it. Like, I have no qualms, and neither does Kelly, about going underground, especially if they're holding, I don't know what words I can or can't say on here, young adults that are not of the legal age. They start abducting on the 13th of the month before they have any kind of a ritual or something coming up. So they are going to be trafficking, and they traffic through things like foundations and organizations with grants. They are working with energy or magic circles. So they work with what they call the light side and the dark side, but that doesn't mean like good or bad. It's just simply the energy they're using. And they very much believe in as above, so below. So literally they will have a foundation or a grant above ground doing a ceremony at the same time that underneath the ground, they'll have something completely adverse happening. So the complete opposite.
Right.
Yeah. And you'll find this, like, especially like with your Lions Club, your Kiwanis Club. I'm trying to think of what the one's called that they always have with the like harbor clubs, but that's not it. It'll come to me. But Boys and Girls Club, Child Protective Services, churches, they've actually set up 6 departments, and I'll show you that too. But I want to talk a little bit about what their hierarchy looks like for like their protectors, because we're going to be getting into the Knights groups tonight. And I want you guys to be able to see how this works. There is a whole like tree and a system that I've mapped out, and that's more of like their, like the business side or the CEO side. This is like the military side, and this is a completely foreign government and a completely foreign military. And there's a very famous quote, I think it's like the governor of Hawaii, that said, like, you know, their own military, their own, they're free of checks and balances. They have their own like funding system for it. That is this. And they've, you know, done such a good job of infiltrating and getting into every possible club and organization where they can have influence or take control of, that it's almost impossible to find one that's not ran by them. And so the way that you're able to identify who it is, because they mix themselves with totally normal people, and they do that on purpose, but they wear symbols and stuff on their clothing, and it's not put out there. It's not obvious. You have to know to look for it. But I'm going to show you how they do this.
Okay.
So
Great.
they use symbols to represent the contracts. If it's a triangle pointed up, that's going to be a holy contract. And if it's a contract where it's got a triangle pointing down, that's going to be an unholy contract. And when they come together, they have done it to seal the light spectrum. Is basically what it represents to them. They have 3 levels that they will have of knights. So the standard level or the bottom level of what they would be called are prefectors. These are knights. So they have been given like a knighthood. The second level up is going to be supreme, and then your highest level is going to be protector. So basically you have your grand high priest and priestess, your high priest and priestess, and then you have your druids underneath, or your knights. But they are fully trained by the age of 10. They put them in circle groups of usually 7 or 9 people, and they start at the age of 4. And by the age of 10, they're fully trained, like MK Ultra, My Lab, all of that. They've been through it all. And from that point forward, they're going to be given special training depending on what their skills or their strengths are. And all of this is being done for an end of days war that is going to be played out on this earth. And they are working behind the scenes to organize or to orchestrate all of that. All right, I need a drink for just a second.
Oh, yeah. Nope. That was a great explanation, by the way. I'm just kind of... These photos kind of mesmerizing.
I get a little nervous doing this sometimes, like, because I can't see anybody, and like, I don't know. I can't stand just talking to no one. So at least you're there. It makes it a little more comfortable. And then I lost my lighter. Okay. So the way that you find your seal is you're going to look up, it's called a state seal, but it's obviously for a city. So this is the seal of the city of Pittsburgh. So it's always going to be implied on the outside who it is. You have to know that, and they're expected to memorize all this. But what this would show is that the Northern Masonic Lodge in Pittsburgh holds the power. The Southern Lodge is supporting them. They have access to 3 locations underground. They have a hierarchy. Go ahead.
No. I was saying, oh, 3 levels. That's neat how that's hidden in that.
It's so crazy, right? Like, I mean, they have these everywhere, and like the artwork on them, I think heraldry artwork is just beautiful. And like whoever is able to come up with something like that out of the blue, like the mind, I just think it's really creative. It never ceases to amaze me. But they're using all of this to symbolize those contracts, and people don't realize it because they've been programmed to think, oh, there's no such thing as magic, and this stuff is just for children, and it goes on and on and on. But they just want us to believe that, so we look away while they're definitely participating, and that's what they are doing. They're doing that behind the scenes all the time. In fact, I think that's what all this crazy weather has to do with, like those fires that happen on the West Coast, the East Coast of the United States, the Carolinas especially. Like they flooded it all out. There's huge lithium deposits there, and they were trying to go in and purchase like a whole neighborhood out from underneath these people, and they were not interested in selling. So the next thing you know, they're flooded out, and all that neighborhood was destroyed. Now they don't have their houses anymore, so
yeah,
synchronicities, that's all. And I'll show you something too, like, because I've started to notice that they organize the artwork so that it's always like a face. It's a little harder to see on this one, but there's always like the third eye or the crown here. And then there's like another like entity down here. And I have a picture, actually. It says what comes out after the 7 seals are open. And it literally is like, I think they call it like a Cthulhu monster, but it's kind of like that octopus kraken thing I was showing you yesterday. Like it's got like 2 entities together. The one on top is like got tentacles and everything. And then there's like this one on the bottom that has like 2 eyes. And it doesn't scare me, but it's so freaking creepy looking. Like I definitely don't want to meet that person. I don't want to run into them on the way to the fridge in the middle of the night at all.
Yeah.
So do you see this right here? The downward shield with the gold and the black, how it kind of looks like a profile of like a face or a head.
Yeah.
Has like curly hair. If you want to take a guess, like who do you think's profile that would be? Like,
I'm not sure.
well, they do that to symbolize like Satan or Lucifer, but you know, he always has like the horns on the top and like he has like the sideburns and like the goatee and stuff and it curls around. Like there's a lot of depictions of him like that. You know, it's
Oh
not just
yeah. Okay.
red with a forked tail. Well, that's what that's supposed to be. And actually, based off of what they have set up here, we have three kings that have established authority in this area. So not only are there knights and like high level Illuminati there, this is going to be um, like the inner circle of the bloodline families. So they have 13 families that were international, and then they went ahead and they funded like they have blue bloodlines basically, but that's where you get like your Rockefellers and your Rothschilds and the Onassis and the Kennedys and DuPont. Those are actually like a pseudo bloodline, and what they're looking for is Rh negative. So if you're in the club and you have a child and your child is Rh negative, then that child is going to be given, well, they're going to be taken through all the training of the My Lab and the MK Ultra, but they're going to be given every opportunity. They're going to be given, if they have an interest in something, they're going to receive, the full scholarship to college. They're going to get all of the opportunities that open all the doors so that they are able to be given a cover story to go about in their daily life. So this is somebody that's going to be like on the world stage or running a country or, part of the alphabet soup, the Trilateral Commission, all those people that go to Davos for like Bilderberg, those people are going to be your Rh negative. Now, the kids that are not Rh negative, they are looked at as what they call assets in the system. And so what they do with these children is they're first sold out and trafficked for sex and prostituted. When they're no longer able to do that, they then sell them off to either be cannibalized or ritualistically sacrificed. And they also harvest the Google Chrome to drink, right? They drink that every day. And they have a way of preparing it. So we all saw Gloria Vanderbilt, right? Like Gloria Vanderbilt was actually a mother of darkness. And that woman was 98 years old giving interviews, and she did not look like she was almost 100 years old, like at all. And I think it's because of that. I think they're literally taking the life essence out of people, and they're using that to keep themselves, I guess, from going through that red shift.
I believe that too.
What they'll do after that is they'll have them cremated and made into a blood diamond, and that diamond will either be kept and used for like ritualistic like sex magic, or to open up like interdimensional portals, or it'll be auctioned off on the black market. And then they take the remainder of the ashes and they curse them and they sell them to the pharmacia and the food companies, and they put them in all the food and the medications. And the reason they're doing that is because, well, it says do not eat like human flesh. Why not? Because it mutates the DNA in you. So they want us all to be mutated and not living in a state of righteousness. And it goes even deeper than that. So there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about like our hands have been blessed to do like great works, like wherever our feet walk, wherever we go, as long as we're in righteousness, we have the authority over the land. And they always talk about like Jesus walking on water. Well, what most people don't realize is that he walked on water because he was exercising his authority over the marine kingdoms. So, they have like this language almost of metaphors where there's like the language of the common folk, and then there's like the language of the royals, and it's like a double talk that they speak. So there's always usually more than one meaning behind those scriptures, and it's not exactly what we think it's about. Were you going to ask something, Jay?
Oh, well, I was going to mention something, comment what you said, but then Phil said the same thing as me. He said, and the meat in places like McDonald's and KFC, you were talking about them putting the rest of it in pharmacia stuff. Like, Yeah, it's like what you said. We're not supposed to eat human flesh. It's like a what, unknowingly forced cannibalism. So we're
Exactly.
everyone in the
Exactly.
normal day world that don't know about this, they're just like eating that up every day and don't have no clue, right? So
Yeah, no, and here's the thing, like there's nothing you can do to avoid it. Like, I mean, it's freaky, right, to think about. Like,
yeah.
they did a study and they found like that these vegan hot dogs had human DNA in them. They're not even supposed to be meat, okay? It's like faux turkey or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever,
right.
right? And there's freaking DNA in it from the human, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm never eating. Well, I don't even eat vegan hot dogs anyways, but that was it for me. I was like, no more. But like there's nothing you can do to avoid it, and they're doing things like even now contaminating the water, they're contaminating the soil, they're spraying heavy metals. There really is something that can be done about it, and that's like meditating or praying over your food. Like
Oh
the
yeah,
best.
yeah.
Do you know who Coraline Corey is? She was in A Tear in the Sky. That was her documentary. I don't know if you saw
No,
that.
no, I didn't see that.
She's interesting. They did an experiment where they ran like a chemical analysis on this cup of water, and then they allowed her to like meditate on it for 10 minutes. And then they came
Okay.
back and they reran the water through, and it had changed the chemical like components or the structure of the water completely. So
Oh, okay, that's like Dr. Emoto did years ago.
exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, like the
Yeah.
healing and the water and the crystals and stuff that they took pictures of, like while people put their intent. That's exactly what it is. So,
Well, that's
you know,
if anyone if anyone's noticed, I have a short on my video called Yin Yang Water. It's the same kind of thing. How I put my hand over the
I
water
don't
and set
think
the
I've seen
intention
that
to it.
one yet. I'm a little behind. I'm about 2 days behind on my Qigong. So I need to
But
catch
we
up.
we would do that on food too. I don't do it anymore. I remember like I would because I'm getting the level two stuff in my course here in a minute. But it's how we're projecting chi out of our hand and how you can use it to neutralize. You just neutralize the energy within your food and meat. So it's good to do that before you eat. That rhymed.
I say that all the time too when I rhyme. I had Aaron do the thing last night with like rub your hands together and then your fingernails. And he went like this, and he's like, "What is that?" I was like, "It's your energy." And he's like, "Oh, that's kind of." It was really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty neat.
I'll tell you a story real quick. I went to when I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I went to one of the coolest Renaissance fairs I've ever been to. They have a real castle in Oklahoma. It's called the Castle of Muskogee, and I mean, what a better place to hold a Renaissance fair, right, than in a real castle. But I went, and when I went there, we got there early, and they weren't open yet in the morning. So we're like standing in line, waiting to pay to get in. And there were performers and entertainers that were like going around mingling with the crowd. And this guy came up to me, and first of all, he looked like Willy Wonka. Okay, he had like the purple coat on, and he totally in the hat and everything. And I was like, did you come have a chocolate factory? But this guy was like Yuri Geller. He had a fork that he bent with his mind. Like I was holding the fork, and I still have the fork. Like the prongs, they like bent around, and the handle like is in a curve. And I could feel this guy, like I think in a way he was almost using my energy along with his, because I was so like just amazed, right? Like that was the first time I ever saw anything where I was like, I remember being a kid and thinking I could move things with my mind, and like sitting at the table, like looking at a glass of water for hours. My mom would be like, "You can't do that. Like, go play outside like a normal kid." And fast forward, here I am in my 30s, and I'm standing there with this guy while he's got his hands or his sleeves rolled up and everything. And like, obviously it wasn't a magnet trick. Like I genuinely believe that he was able to do it with his mind, especially after, do you know who Yuri Geller is?
No.
Yuri Geller was part of the Stanford Research Institute. He was with that group like Russell Targ. He was like a laser physicist. Hal Puthoff, Pat, what's his name? Pat Price. Yeah. There's a couple more too. I think one of them's even a melon. But anyways, they're basically like the military industrial complex. That's where they go off to, these people. But they were part of like the first studies that were ran and funded by the CIA into the power of the mind. So there was an article that was published, I think it was the New York Times, but for like a month straight, they were able to predict like the stock market, and they made like $100,000 off of it. But this was during the time of the Cold War, where we basically found out that Russia was using like psychic warfare against us, like the Men Who Stare at Goats. That it's like that movie. And as soon as they realized what Russia was doing and what was going on over in the Cold War, they wanted to, in the United States, replicate that, because they didn't want something to be figured out that we weren't already one step ahead of, right? They're always hungry for war and power, it seems like. So anyways, Uri Geller, he basically had a lot of weird experiences as a kid, but he can bend spoons with his mind, and he has like a car with like spoons glued all over it that he's bent. But his most famous, I think, event for bending spoons was he was on like one of those like America's Got Talent Star Search things, and he told everybody that was watching, like, go to your kitchen and get a spoon, right? And he's like, we're gonna do it together. Well, he said that he counted to 3, and when he counted to 3, all the cameras blew at the TV station. There was so much power like coming through with everyone concentrating that it took the whole feed down. But he ended up finding out, like, after the fact, like, not only were people's spoons built, like, bending all over the world, like, clocks were stopping and all kinds of weird, like, time anomalies. Yeah, Mr. Putoff. Yeah, that's correct, Phil. Yeah, I don't know. I've still got the jury out on him. I'm not sure how I feel about him. I think he's a villain. But yeah, like, he basically was able to prove, like, you can definitely train the mind, and you can definitely move things. And, you know, the energy here is not as solid as we think it is.
Oh, no, it's not. We should be able to walk through the wall. You know what I mean?
Like, I've never been able to get over not flying, and I can actually deal with not being able to move things in my mind. It was the flying, though. Like, I still 40 years old, and I still haven't let go of it. You know, like I'm 5.
Yes, yeah.
I like literally would daydream about it, and if I wasn't daydreaming about it, I was dreaming at night about flying. Like, it went on until I was like 10.
It's like if you tried that and you went out to a cliff and you jumped off and you couldn't fly and you died, Prime Creator's got to make you reincarnate as a bird.
That's fine. I'll be a bird. My mom used to always, I told you about the swing set. Like, I used to try to jump off the roof of the house. I had no problem climbing trees when I was like, I don't think I even wore shoes till I was like 5 years old. Like, my parents, we were out in the country, and my parents had a nursery, and I was not like the kids at school that were, you know, their parents were like doctors and lawyers. And my parents, like, my dad didn't even go to high school. And my parents both spoke 2 languages, and they ended up having one of the most successful wholesale nurseries in San Diego. Like, they landscaped 3 or 4 naval bases. So, like, I was always really proud to tell that story. Like, it just showed, like, you can actually make something of yourself, even if you haven't, you know, followed the path they say that you have to follow to succeed.
I never followed no path, and I'm still in the same place I've been in for the last 30 years. It's kind of crazy. But
I don't think I'm ever going to grow up, and that's fine. Okay. So I want to get to the pictures. So I'm just going to explain this really quick, and then we'll go, because I know we're at almost an hour already. And Jay, when you're ready to get off, you just let me know and we'll stop for the night. Okay.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay. So they do use flags, ribbons, seals, and even building architecture to represent the contracts. But not only that, that is where they have access to their gates. So depending on what area you're in, you're going to have certain different types of, like I said, priest or priestess groups, and there's different types of magic. And here's like the weird part. So this picture right here is actually the courthouse where I live in Alabama. This is a public school in Pittsburgh.
Oh.
And this is a church in Pittsburgh, right? And the first thing you'll notice is, like, there's this common reoccurring thing where they will always have, like, on the right and the left of the middle door, identical raised pillars. And those are actually representing the threefold contract between Abaddon, Ashtaroth, and Leviathan. So they actually raise 2 poles up, or 2 pillars up, And they have names for these poles in like Freemasonry. It's like the Boaz and the Jachin, or the ball and the Ashtaroth, the moon or the sun pole. But it basically goes back to like King Solomon when he built his temple. He had those two poles to represent the polar opposites, but he actually gave them names, and it was almost like they took on like personalities to him. So that's what they're representing. And if you'll start noticing now, when I point this out, you guys will be going, through your day or whatever, you'll be out in town, you're going to see this shit everywhere. You're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't even notice it, right? I always thought it was just pretty definitely architecture. But no, I don't know. Go ahead.
Our city, I'm going to start looking at that, because our city, we have these old buildings from the early 1800s here that they're using, and they're very evil looking.
You get a cookie, Jay. You're so smart. So anybody who lives in a town where you have buildings that are still up from like the turn of the century, 1800s going to 1900s, they are adamant about building on the 33rd parallel, and they also will build right on top of the remains of like an old church or an old like Indian grave site. Anything that might hold power, they're going to build on top of it, and they're going to pull that power up.
Yeah. Like we got ancient old Parliament buildings, not Parliament buildings, but these government buildings here. They got gargoyles all around them.
Yep, that's part of it. Yeah, exactly. They have that all over the Vatican too, and it goes back to like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And I'll tell you, this is actually a little ahead of my presentation, but every building will have, usually on the north side of the building, they'll have 3 doors. The side of the church that has the 3 doors, underneath that's where they have holding cells for children, and that's where they have their altars for sacrifice. So now you know where you can pay attention during the 13th of the month. Once that starts, start looking and seeing like, okay, the churches in the area, like, are they holding certain events? Because they're going to create some kind of an event. So there's like, a lot of people in confusion, and then they're going to go in and they're going to operate through that and cause turmoil. And, it could be anybody when you're there with a crowd of, a couple hundred people. Right. But
yeah, I'm gonna always... have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back and keep rewatching these pictures that you do tonight, so I can.
Oh yeah, I'll send you a copy of them. You can have a copy. Once I present them all, I'm gonna make them public to everybody. The only reason I haven't been doing that is because I keep having people trying to hack my templates, and I'm not trying to. Like, I want this information to get out, but I'm not trying to like put myself on the radar at the same time. Like, there's a lot of information that people need.
Well, you're doing the right thing. Well, you're doing the right thing. You don't have to put it up there right now.
I'm doing the right thing at my house. my dad came down yesterday before we got on and did the podcast, and he's like, I know you want validation, and I just want to let you know I'm so proud of you. And I was like, I don't want validation for fucking anything. Like, I feel like when I had that awakening, Jay, like I had an ego death. Like I almost feel like embarrassed to even talk about it, like in certain ways, because like I'm not special. I'm not different than anybody else. Like it's not about that. You know what I mean? To me, I don't care about being famous. I don't care about being rich. Like I just simply want people to know, because I don't want to go through losing their kids, losing whatever it is, being attacked, spiritual warfare. I mean, they have different names for it, but I mean, these entities are evil, and they have fallen out of grace with the Creator, and they are, if they have their way, they want to take us with them, but the time is coming and it's drawing near. And that's why things are getting so chaotic now. They're scrambling to try and, bring us down with the rest of them. Yep. All right. Where's the button? There it is. Yay, I think we can finally get to the pictures now. Okay, this one's blank. Not that page. Okay, let me scroll down just a little so you guys... Actually, I might be able to move it. Oh, no. Stop. What are you doing? I don't know why the page is changing. Hold on. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why I did that. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can... Man, I don't know if I can do this while I'm on StreamYard. I need to change the setting. Maybe I can do it down here. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yay, okay, I can do it this way. I'm going to make it so that the picture is hopefully a little easier to see for you guys. Okay. So this is crazy. Like I'm on, here, let me start with the first one actually. So I'm on Google Earth the other night and I'm going through Pittsburgh and I'm trying to figure out like there's like a gazillion freaking churches there, right? And so I'm trying to figure out which ones are part of their system and which ones are not. And once you learn like the symbols, you'll notice it right away. There's always going to be like some kind of like Roman or like Greek or Hebrew architecture or letters. They're consistent with that. They'll have certain, heraldic like figures or altars. You'll see as we go through the pictures what I'm talking about. But so I'm sitting there and I'm looking right at, this is the LDS, so the Latter-day Saints, like the Mormon church in Pittsburgh. And I'm looking, from like the bird's eye view at the structure of the building to see if it meets the format of, how they do their architecture to represent the contracts. And while I'm sitting there looking at it, I don't know if you guys can see this. I might need to zoom in. I started noticing like right here, like these are the bushes, right? But they literally look like people coming out of the greenery. And there's more in the back. Man, I hate that this is not formatted right. Let's see if I can get to that. Yeah, there we go. Right here. You can see it's actually, they're looking like right at us. Like, so this would be like the top of the head. This would be like his right, our left eye socket. This would be our right, his left eye socket. So here's his eyes. Here's the nose. He looks like he has like a mustache or something like right here. And then he's got like his shoulder. I don't know if you can see it or not, Jay.
Yeah. I got it now.
But the more that I was like looking at them, the more detailed they were getting. And the one that really was like freaking me out was the one that was of this church that was out in the middle of like nowhere. And let me show you what the picture looks like before I cut it up, and because I had to zoom in because it was such a big picture. So this is what it looks like at the bottom here. Let me zoom in. I'm going to have to reformat this because it didn't look like this when I was editing it. It was like actually perfect. Maybe I can just, okay, I can just move it up here. Come on. Or not. There we go. My computer's freezing bad. Okay. I'm waiting for it to catch up. Okay, so do you need me to zoom in? I know you're on your phone, so I know it's probably hard for you, but I don't know if Phil or Kelly can see well.
I got my laptop out. That's why I'm looking this way, because I got my laptop out.
Okay, we're good then. All right. So it's basically this. The areas I'm going to show you are going to be all right through here. And it was some kind of like, I don't know if they burnt trees down or had a fire or what, but they had the parking lot and everything was green, like all the grass was green. And then this whole section here was just, as you can see, it's like barren and desolate and just looks like there was a fire, right? Well, the first thing I noticed when I was looking at it is like this like skeleton arm coming up out of the ground right here. And I can mark it up. If you guys want me to mark it up, I can do that with a marker so that you guys can see the outline if it's not clear.
I'm waiting for my computer to play catch up. I'm waiting for my computer to play catch up.
No, you're fine.
Okay,
you're fine. Mine, it's probably my stream because it's been raining all day. And every time it rains, the internet just sucks. I'm like the only person that lives somewhere where they don't have a 5G tower, I'm pretty sure, besides Antarctica. They're not updating us out here anytime soon. Okay. So that was the first thing I noticed was the arm. Can you see the arm yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the arm, okay? And then as I started looking even further, I started noticing, like right here, there's a face. So it's like, it's the head, right? So here's like the top of the head. Then this would be like his eye socket and his cheekbone. And then here's his chin. Here's his nose right here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can see it?
Yeah.
And there's another one. There's one right here coming out of the rock. Like, here's his eyes.
Well, it looks like Donald Trump looking sideways.
Dude, it does. Oh my God, it does. I didn't even think it. That's crazy. Well, you know what's so interesting is like
See how his
Renetta,
mouth is like this?
Yeah, no, you're so right. Oh my God. Dude, we need to make a meme so it goes viral. You guys heard it here first, okay? We found him in the rocks.
No, absolutely.
Renetta used to do this. Renetta, this is what she taught our whole group. But this is the first thing that was happening to me. Like before I even had that awakening, the first thing that happened was I was seeing this out my like kitchen window when I was doing dishes. Like there's this big tree and like we have like a rolling green like pasture outside of my yard here. And there's a cul-de-sac across that pasture in like a neighborhood where it wraps around by the high school, but it's like all open and like we own the tree line that kind of hugs around it, but it's all cleared and it's, you know, it's maintained so you can see clearly across. And there's this tree and I need to take a picture of it. I swear to God, it looks like a giant. It looks like a titan. And I can focus on it to the point that it's like where our consciousness is, I don't know if that's the right word. Our conscious is connecting and I can tell like they're moving, like they come to life. Like the longer I stared at this picture last night, I was seeing like a whole scene play out.
Yeah. That's
I gotta send you the video Renetta did of the ones in Texas. She found a man with like a machine and like a laser gun, like lasering pharaohs into the mountains. You can see it. She was out there like trying to get every angle at different lights. Like it was absolutely like super clear. And it was amazing, like for her to be able to not only like find it, but she was able to tap into those energy or those entities. And she was able to get like the storyline behind what had happened.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's what made me a fan of the Titans. Like I was really obsessed with Greek mythology for some reason, like in 6th grade. And I think it must have something to do with remembering maybe like a past life, like maybe even during those wars, because there's just certain things I think like you just pick up easier because your subconscious memory remembers it, even if this conscious life hasn't experienced it yet, right? Seems like we carry things with us.
I even see a gray alien face in there.
You got it. Yes, that's exactly what it is. You're so good. We're going to pin a rose on your nose. Right here, you can totally see. It's like this. All right. So first of all, right here, right? We'll start with the first on the outside and we'll move in. So you can totally see this guy's profile. And it's like they're like coming out of the ground or it looks so chaotic to me because like there's this guy here on his left. So moving inward, you have this second face looking over. It's almost like, I don't know if it's like a lion or what, but like even the way the nose looks, right? And these like big eyes. And then there's a third person right here. And look how crazy this is. So here's his head. Here's his arm. It's like a skeletal arm. And look, he's got the eyes on top and the eyes on the bottom.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that drawing looks like that I was talking about. What happens when they open the 7 seals? It's the two-headed or whatever, the 2 creatures in one. I don't know what they call those. So
yeah, I can't remember either.
And then right here, there's another one right here. It's like his mouth is here. Here's his nose, and he looks like a skeleton. Like it looks like it doesn't look like the rest of them do. All right, so I'm going to definitely have to zoom in for this one. So which one did you see the gray alien in? This one or this one?
Actually, it was in the last picture because it was lagging. Nice.
That makes sense. Okay.
Okay, you
Because I
what's this guy up here in the top corner coming down a little
on the
bit? You
left
see
or the
it?
right? Hold on, I switched back to look at you. I don't know what you're
Right.
pointing at. Does it have
On the
blue?
right.
Okay, so the right one right here.
It's way over to the
There's
end of
this
it.
guy. Are you talking about this one with blue right here?
No, go up a little bit. No, stay over to the right.
Up. That's my right.
I can't see your
The
cursor
other right.
now.
You want me to go this way or the other way?
Well, it's on the be your right there, right above your mouse, right beside it, against the very end of
Okay.
the picture.
This
Do you
guy
see
right
that?
here.
No, up right there. You're on its
Yeah.
forehead.
Yeah.
What's
That's the
that?
one I started with first. Yeah. Oh man, it must be
Oh, is
really
that the?
behind.
No, it is because I can't see it on here. Right? Okay, that's the first one.
Okay.
Okay, that looks
Yeah,
like
that's the
I
first
don't
one.
know. Just
Yeah.
it popped out more to me after that.
Well, it's the longer that you look at it, like they we've all heard that saying, right? Like those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. Like that's what like Renetta was like trying to teach us, was like how to see like spiritually, like not just looking at it. And the more that I do this, like it's insane how much it's exciting. Like I love it. I feel like it's positive reinforcement to know that I can tangibly look and see something and
Mhm.
have affirmations that I'm not just, maybe imagining it, right? Because I think sometimes, like, especially like when I have like a download, sometimes I feel like I'm questioning it, like, oh, maybe it's somebody messing with me and it's not actually authentic. But it feels authentic because it hits me in my heart chakra. So it feels
Yeah.
good. But I'll tell you why I feel that way is so when I moved in with Aaron, he lived in a haunted house. It was not the first place I lived in that was haunted. It's kind of something I've followed me around for a while, it almost seemed like, but it's gone now. And we were sitting up. I had to go to work around 6 in the morning. So we were up at like, 3 or 4 in the morning, smoking a blunt. And I looked over at him and I felt this feeling almost like I just relaxed, like almost like I got like in a bath of warm water. Like I just felt like I just wanted to let go all of a sudden and not have a care in the world. And when that happened, I looked at him and said, "Hey, everything's going to be okay." But it wasn't my voice. It wasn't my voice at all that came out of me. It was like this really deep voice. And for a long time, I was like, oh, but it was such a positive message and it didn't feel bad. And now I think that I was definitely being manipulated. Because what happened next was my eyes locked with Aaron's and I saw his pupils dilate. And all of a sudden, all of his fear from being startled, like it like back channeled through me. I could feel it like being pulled like through my heart, like out my back. And it was like just a huge amount of like adrenaline and fear. And what had happened was he said when my voice changed, he said my whole face contorted.
Oh
And
wow.
I mean, I don't blame him. It scared the crap out of me. And I didn't even see it. It happened through me, right? But that, like, I haven't been able to ever stop thinking about that because I don't know what it was. Well, but 2 or 3 days later after that happened, him and I woke up in the middle of the night screaming at the same time at our top of our lungs. We were having the exact same nightmare. And I've never had a dream before. Like you talk about like how you go to sleep and all of a sudden you're in another place that feels as real as this. Like my dreams are so like bizarre and so like when I want to fly in my dreams, like I can't get off the ground. Or if I try to touch something, it's not like there. It's almost like even foggy. They're not coming in clear like that. It's almost like they're just running shit through my head all night. Because I'll close my eyes and I'll open them and 8 hours has gone by, but I don't feel like I've dreamed at all. And I used to dream like so much in color. I'd have weird dreams. They were in color, they had sound, but they never made sense. And they never made me feel like I was somewhere else other than here. I knew I was like dreaming.
Yeah.
But we wake up screaming and basically we were having the exact same nightmare. And what it was is like in my nightmare, there was like this like curved tunnel hallway and there was whatever was coming from behind it. I was terrified. Like I don't know what it was, but my higher self must have known, or that subconsciously I was terrified and knew I didn't want to see what was coming. And it came around, and in my part of the nightmare, it was trying to get Aaron. So I actually got so pissed off that my fear left. I remember like pushing him behind me and like starting to like advance towards this like entity. And the next thing I know is like this portal opens and it's trying to like pull me through. And Aaron's like holding onto like my legs, like I'm like flying in the air. This portal is so strong with suction. And he's like trying to pull me back. Well, in his nightmare, it was the exact same thing, except for it was switched. He was trying to protect me and he was being pulled through. And
Oh, wow.
we both woke up at the same time because we thought the other person was like being taken. And so that was like the weirdest thing ever, right? Those two events, like within days of each other. And I've never since then had anything like that. And I don't remember having anything like that before. But it makes me a little nervous sometimes because it's like I said, I thought the first experience was positive and the second experience was so contrast and difference to it. I was like, oh, clearly I can tell this one was not positive and this one was. I think they were trying to manipulate me because I don't think anything that was trying to be positive would have come through me in a way where it would have been a fear thing, you know? I think that they wouldn't have even tried to come to my body. I think that they would have just, you know, like they would have respected me and there would have had to been a conversation in a way. At least I'd like to think so, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just food for thought.
No, that's interesting. That's I never heard tell of that kind of dream before where two people had it. That's really, really neat.
You have interesting dreams. I wanted to ask you this too. Like I was telling you about that guy, Jason Quit, that like got pulled out of his body all the time as a kid. And he was like going on all these like astral adventures. And he wrote a book with Thoth and all this stuff. And he says he has this one experience where he woke up and instead of being in his bed, he was in a classroom with kids and everything about it was not like Earth. Like, excuse me, I have the hiccups. Like the children looked like they were human, but he's like, I was clearly not in my classroom at school. I'd never seen this classroom. He said everything was like completely stark white. The lights, all the furniture, everything was white. And he said these kids were not speaking and there was no teacher in the room. And he basically said that he acted out. He just went psycho and was like screaming at the top of his lungs. And he got up and like ran out of the classroom, is like bolting down the hall. And he said basically that's where it ended. They pulled him back through like, oh, you couldn't fucking keep it together. We're not going to let you do that again. Right. But he said it never felt like a dream, that one. He said it was like, he could remember like touching like the desk and everything was like, you know, solid and tangible. And I was wondering if like your dreams are ever like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what you call them, but yeah, it's the same thing as what I have. Because what I say is just as real as being here, right?
Place like what that story was?
Yeah. All the time.
Really?
School. The school one is constant. And it's like I know I don't have to. Yeah, it's like I know I don't have to be there. I'm not supposed to be there, but I have that knowing in me. But
but you're there anyways.
Yeah, but I'm there anyways. That one happens a lot. That surprised me when you mentioned the school.
I need to send you that guy's he was doing this podcast with a guy named Jimmy Church. Like I used to listen to it all the time. It's called Fade to Black Radio. But Jimmy Church, he kind of paired up with Gaia and Billy Carson, and he's one of the last people that gave Damon T. Barry an interview. And there's this call I listened to where it's supposed to be Damon T. Barry calling in, and he's like whispering on the line, like, don't talk to Damon T. Barry, right? And Jimmy Church is like, okay, I know it's you, Damon, right? Like, well, first of all, I've listened to this guy's voice like so many hours. It's not him, okay? The guy's a black man, and it does not sound like a black man calling in on the radio. It didn't sound like him. And the other thing, too, is like Jimmy Church, he'd open up his lines all the time for people to call in. He had all kinds of wackos calling in and saying stuff. He never a single time before that took that phone call, made it its own isolated clip and uploaded it so that it was its own video of just that content. Like he totally dialed in on this guy. And right around that same time, Billy Carson came out with his Black Knight satellite documentary. Well, Damon T. Berry, the 5th episode of his series, The Knowledge of the Forever Time, the 5th episode's about the Black Knight satellite. It's a totally different take than Billy Carson has on it, but I almost wonder if, like, you know, Billy Carson was just at that point, like, breaking into the mainstream and becoming, like, you know, popular and getting a lot of views. And Jimmy Church, he got, like, within a year of that, they both had, Billy Carson owns his own network now, but they gave Jimmy Church his own show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just seemed like, I don't know. I think that they did something, and I think that they were rewarded for it. And it's just an opinion, but I mean, that guy was like totally silenced after that and gang stalked beyond belief. And I think they could have done something to help him, and instead whatever they did, they tried to tarnish his reputation.
They did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I really want to get everybody to listen to it. Like, it's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen in my life. And like, the best part is it's like, it tells you how to, like, not only save the planet, but like how to leave, like, and get people out of here. Cause I think there's going to come a time where if we don't fix things, like, they're going to come and harvest this planet again and think they're going to blow it up and put us in another body like a hard drive. I think they've done it many, many times. But I could be wrong. It's for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so I think he looks like the Grinch. This one does. Like, he's even got like the smirk. Like, I can see his teeth almost. He's got like this like weird like look on his face, but he's got the like tear-shaped head. And then like you can see the eyes are set apart pretty far right here. And then you can see the profile like of his nose. Oh my God, I just realized there's another face there.
I would say almost look like Chewie from Star Wars.
Yeah, right? That's why I thought, like, the Grinch, like, he looks like he's wearing fur. Wait till I turn the picture sideways, you guys. Like, I turn these pictures, like, all different directions, and no matter what direction you turn it, you get a full scene, and it's all completely different. I think Trixie's trying to get in. But, like, you can even see it, like, go down. Like, he's got his arm right here, and you can see the fingers. Trixie, no. You can see his leg right here. Like, it's crazy to me. And then there's other stuff coming through. Like, you can see, like, this hand and stuff. But I've got that on another slot. Okay, which one? Am I on 8? I don't know which one. I'm on 10. Okay, so I need to go to 11. Jay, I know you have to work in the morning, and I don't know how long we've been on. So whenever you're ready, you just let me know, okay? Because there's 60 slides. I don't think unless you're going to stay up all night, I don't think we're going to get through them all tonight.
Well, you can do a few more.
Okay, I'll do a few more. Okay, so let me see if I can move this. I think I can. I'm trying to get rid of the menu so that it's not cut off. Okay, and then you come down here. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, it doesn't have it over here. Okay, hold on. I have to find it. Where did it go? It's cut off what I wanted to show you. It reformed. So when I hit present the first time, it literally reformatted it into a different size. And that's why there's like all the white space and the slides are cut off. It like changed it. I had it like set up perfect, like landscape. And I didn't know this until like 5 minutes before we got on. So I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do. Man, I wonder if I'm going to be able to show you. There's a woman with like sunglasses and everything and a lion that you can see. Maybe this one will show it better. I'm so upset that I can't see it. I sent you a picture of it, but nobody else is going to be able to see it. Man, that's upsetting. Oh, fuck. I wonder. I don't think I can pull it up right now without it taking 5 minutes. Anyways, I'll explain it to you, and then I'll go ahead and what I'm going to do after this is I'll upload the picture onto my YouTube, like my YouTube feed and my Facebook, and then that way you guys can see it. But it's basically this picture, and it's turned landscape or sideways, and like right here in this portion, I might be able to zoom up just a little. Yeah, in this portion, it turns into a woman's face with sunglasses on, and you can see like her hair coming down the back of her neck, and you can see her pupils, like they're big eyes, so you can see them perfectly, even though she's wearing sunglasses. And you can see her arm because her arm's like right here. It's part of that picture, but you can't see her face in this one. And this whole area right here is a gigantic lion. Like you can see it with its mouth open. You can see the legs. I wonder if I can, let me try rotating this real quick. I think I can flip this and you guys will be able to see it. Ooh, where's flip? There it is, flip. Come on. All right, I'm gonna have to do it manually. Yay! Okay, all right. I think I'm gonna be able to show you. It's freezing so bad. I don't know why. Okay, let me extend it out. Okay. Oh, I think it's upside down. It's the other way. Sorry. It's my first time ever. I've never done my own stream or anything, Jay. I'm sorry that you had to be here for the first time. It's a disaster.
Oh no, it's fine.
All right, so we're gonna flip horizontal. And then it should let me turn it. Oh, okay. It flipped it. It flipped it. Okay, you can see the lion. All right, so I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, I can see it now. Awesome. I'm so happy. All right, so let me know when you see my cursor on like the bottom right side of the screen because I want to make sure that I'm not going too fast. I didn't realize it was going is that delayed between when I said it and when you could hear it.
Well, I just think my computer's behind. It's fine on the phone, but computer I can see it better.
It's fine on the phone.
Just,
okay, all right.
It's fine on the phone. It's the computer that's lagging for me because it's slow.
It's okay. That mouse just needs to run faster on the wheel.
You're there now.
Okay, so this is the bottom of like his jaw. This is a lion. So this is his mouth open, and you can see like his teeth right here. And then this is like the top row, like he's roaring. And this would be like his nose and his profile if you were looking from the side. And then you have his mane. And it's like really dark and it goes like all the way around. Right here, you can see one of his ears. Just want to make sure I'm going slow enough that people can actually see it. Now, I think I can extend this, like, because I could actually see, no, this one's not the one that's all extended. Okay, I was actually able to see his legs in one of them. I was trying to cut the pictures down so that, like, we could look at the details.
I see it now in his ears and everything, yeah.
Yeah, you do? Oh, good. Okay. I love seeing lions. Like, I didn't know anything about, like, Lionsgate. Renetta taught me about that, and now I see lions a lot. I think that's a good thing. Like, I like lions. I like them a lot more than gray aliens, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to try to zoom, or I'm going to try to go up here. Yes, yay, I get to see it. Okay, I was so excited to show you guys this. Okay, right here, let me see if it'll go out just a little. Okay, I should be able to go a little bit more. Right there. Okay, so this is the woman with the sunglasses. So I'm going to show you her profile, and then I'll show you like her like aesthetics, like her eyes and stuff. So this would be like a side profile, right? So this would be like the bottom of her chin. Oh, what are you doing, computer? All right, so this is the bottom of her chin. Like right here's her lips. And then like her nose. This is her sunglasses right here. You can see like the lens. And this is like part of her forehead. And then she's got like curly hair. So it goes up with like, she has a lot of volume. She has a lot of volume for being in the desert. I'm impressed. Wait, Pittsburgh's not the desert, is it? It's not like California. It's not the desert. Anyways. And then right here, you can actually see her eye, like looking through the lens. Like here's the
Yeah.
pupil, and do you see the white? I don't know how well you can see it. Like I've been looking at it
No,
all day, so it's really clear to me.
no, I see it. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like, it's one thing to find one or two things, but I mean, like, you got to start to wonder, why is all of this stuff coming out of the earth? Like, you know what I mean? Are they pulling energy through? Are these entities that, like, are manifesting? Are they stuck there? Like, you know what I mean? I'm super
Yeah,
curious. I want to know why it looks like that.
I was wondering the same thing.
So then it came down here, right? So, like, this is the rest of like her body. Well, then what I started to realize is I could see so many lions at that point. Like right here, I think this one's actually, this one I think might be like a reindeer or something, because it's got like horns right here, but it has like a muzzle, and then it's like got like this long neck. But the more that I look at it, like, or especially earlier, like I was trying to draw it out, but I saw like a head here, and I don't know if this is hair or like a feather, but you can see part of like a profile right here of someone's head. And once I started noticing him, this changed completely. Instead of it looking like a muzzle or like a reindeer, it started to look like a donkey to me. And then I was thinking like, think like an Egyptian, like the Egyptian pantheon. I think it's Set, isn't it? It's Ra and Set, and I think one of them is a donkey, aren't they? I don't know if you know Egyptian mythology or not.
Do a little bit, but I can't remember. I can't remember the donkey thing.
I don't know if the Phil or Kelly are still there. If one of you guys know, put it in the chat. But I'm pretty sure that one of them is like the jackass of the bunch. All right, so then the lions, right? So I start looking, and right here, so like this is the nose, and it's like a dark nose, and like, you know, lions have like that really like broad like facial feature in their nose, and so it looks like super thick to me, like, and broad. But here's the ears, and then this is like hair or fur. Here's the other ear right there. Here's the eye, and then it comes down like this. You can see like almost like teeth. Man, I wonder if I'm wrong about the lion and it's a dogman. That's the other thing too, is like they keep looking like they're changing to me, so I'm like, I keep seeing different things.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it plays a trip on your mind. And then the last thing I saw, and this kind of freaked me out, was, so it was like animals and her, right? And I was like, wow, she's like really pretty. Like it didn't feel like a negative energy to me. And then I started seeing like all of these animals. And then the next thing I saw was like it changed. And the last thing I could see was this. So there's like, it looked like the dead were coming out of the ground, Jay. Like
Yeah.
it really kind of creeped me out. Yeah, bad. Like you can see right here, this looks like the skeleton arm, right? Like the phalanges. You have like your forearm. And right here, it
Yeah.
looks like somebody's like attached to this arm, like he's laying down. And this could be like his rib cage. But it's like he's like almost like laying down, reaching up at something. So what do you think? What do you think, Jay?
No, sure. It's crazy. I don't know where they come from. Like whether the images appear. I think it could even be energy from these entities that are there, manifesting, staying left behind in pictures, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, in Harry Potter, like, you know, that was like one of the things about Harry Potter was like the newspaper and the pictures, they were animated. Like they'd have the picture frame of like, you know, on the the wall with the family, but they were all moving around, and sometimes like they would even leave like the picture and go to another frame and another destination, and they'd like, you know, their version of them that was animated would be like interacting with other portraits. You got to think maybe there's something there to that, because like, you know, at the top of the Luciferian Brotherhood, there's three orders or societies that are the be all end all, and it's the highest one's the Order of Melchizedek. Underneath that, you're going to have the Order of the Phoenix and the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Well, the third book that J.K. Rowling wrote was Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. And there's so many things that, like, you know, have come back to me because I was so obsessed with those books. My brother got them for me like my freshman year of high school. And I have never found a book series. Like, it was almost like it would like enchanted me or something. It felt like there was just something about it that was just different than any other book I read. And I don't know if it's like there was like familiarity to it, like it was a story I'd heard before or I had seen these things, but even like the Death Eaters and stuff and everything that their little storyline is, you know, played out in these books, it's exactly what they're doing on the world stage and behind doors. And the Order of the Phoenix, this will kill you, is connected with the post office.
No,
all
that
of
makes
their
sense.
all their symbolism, all of it with the eagle, the colors, the blue and the gray, well, at least the United States Post Office, all of it is signaling and showing the heraldry that's part of their society. But the Order of Melchizedek, you have to not only be like a bloodline, but you have to be like sitting on so many councils. You have to be very loyal to the order. And to be a grand high priest or priestess, I mean, you got to remember, these are at 10 years old, they're fully trained. So even though they may be in their adult life, in the capacity of, you know, their cover story, they might be working, you know, in a church, but on the back end, they're actually like a mage or a wizard. And
Yeah.
what you are expected to do, like at the 33rd degree, and it goes higher for like, I think Scottish Rite Freemasons, they call it being, you know, illuminated or whatever. Basically it's that you're opened up completely to 360 degrees around you. Like you're seeing in the spirit, you're seeing in the astral, all the different light bodies. You're able to see all of that overlay here in the third dimension and navigate and walk through it. And the way that they do that, the way that they make sure that like you're actually, you know, properly trained and you can actually do it all, is they put them on a cross and they crucify them. And once they die, they're expected to raise themselves from the dead and heal themselves. And once they do that, they basically believe that they are gods. And not only are they expected to be able to do that, right? It should be easy because if you're a god, you can do it. But they're supposed to be able to like call their like stigmata back. So they're supposed to be able to make the wounds appear or heal them instantly. And that's what they're doing at the highest level. So if they're in the Order of Melchizedek, like this is crazy. They just said this last week too, like on the news. So they're putting the 10 Commandments back in school, right? The 10 Commandments doesn't have anything to do with what we would think it's there for. It's actually their way of embedding themselves with the sigils, because you'll see this along with some of them. It'll be like in the entrance to the school. When you walk in, it'll either be like some kind of concrete or some kind of like pillar that will have it on there. But there will be like a little genie lamp with a flame. And that's their sign. That genie lamp, it represents those who are initiates of the flame. They have been able to go all the way through all of the degrees and the different societies and orders, and now they've reached the top level. And most people don't ever make it to that top level, but if they do, I mean, they're the ones that are given all the information, and they're able to basically do any kind of magic and move any kind of energy. I know they have like the left path and the right hand path, like with masonry, but they even have some that are trained in both, or the middle path. So they're like not just black and white, it's like gray.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see. I can do one more if you want, but it's going to be a different photo set, and I'm not sure if you want me to start it and then like stop in the middle. So if you want, we can stop for the night.
Yeah, we can do that. Then we can get to another one and try to go through a whole whack more. We'll just keep doing it until we get through them all.
Yeah, there's so much stuff like that. I've got another 40 slides that's like the whole system like mapped out, because I want people to be able, if people want to know this, I wanted to know it. I want to be able to show them so that they can do it for themselves, because that's the only way we're going to be able to identify or stop anything, is to know how they're moving and how they're communicating.
So when you come on StreamYard tonight, did you have an option to download the video?
I'm not sure. Let me check. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and we'll.
Then when I did the show with Rob, at the end of it, it showed that it was downloading.
Let's see. Where would I look at? I'm not sure. Okay, so what I see is I see mute, stop camera, settings, present, invite, leave studio. Having issues, always having issues.
Okay.
I don't think they're able to help me. On the right it says private chat style, media assets, banners, comments, edit.
Oh, I think what will happen is when you're done, it will probably give you the option if you want to download it.
Okay.
So no, I can't download just because I'm on a free plan, but you should be able to.
Yeah, well, this was supposed to be the free plan, and then I paid $35. Surprise! Bought myself StreamYard this month, I guess. But it's fine, and you can use it too, because if you, I think it's only like 2 hours of recording you get with the free one, right? A month?
No, it's unlimited. I don't know. I never ever run out of time with the free one.
With recording?
Yeah.
That's weird, because when I was looking at it, I could have, maybe I misread it. I read all that small font because I want to know what I'm getting out of it. And Connor actually had StreamYard, and they're freaking tricky. So like it looks like you're gonna pay like $17 a month for it, but that's if you pay for the whole year up front, right? It's like $500 you get the discount. Well, as soon as you change it to like a monthly plan, or they even bill by the week, it goes to $18 a week. And I was like, that's insane. That's so much money to pay for streaming, especially like if you're a channel starting out, you're like trying to support yourself off of that, like.
Yeah, no, it's.
Or Rumble. Penny Bradley was saying that she was paying up to $100 to upload one video on Rumble. I didn't know it cost that much. I thought it was free.
No, I don't bother. I don't go to Rumble. I don't bother with it, but I can see why people use it. But you're just trying to get information.
I watch a lot of stuff on there, but I don't want to use it. I'm not interested in putting. I want people to come to groups or whatever and find people that way, but I'm not trying to like just go viral online. Like I don't even want the attention.
Yeah.
Well, I had fun, and I'm very grateful you woke up and you came and hung out with me. And I'm sorry you're probably going to be really tired in the morning, but you did your good deed of the day.
I had a nap, but I couldn't wake up.
You know what's great after a nap? Another nap.
I think so.
I'm actually going to go to bed now. I feel better, though. Thank you. I'd had such a bad day, so it actually was really helpful.
I'm glad. Yeah, I figured that would help you.
All right. Is Phil still in the chat?
Yes, he said thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle. I see that. Okay, TikTok is free. I just finally got TikTok. I'm like one of those people that just like, I hate the Chinese Communist Party, and I'm not fucking don't want it. I don't even want to have TikTok because I heard that they're running things behind the scenes with that.
Oh yeah. But we can still use things. We can use things to our advantage while we have the knowing of what's going on, really, too. So,
yeah, it's true. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, all this information's like a free for all right now. Like, we've got all this AI, like DeepSeek and ChatGPT, and people are figuring out, right, that 0-point energy is totally achievable, and that they've been doing it for a long time, right? Like Tesla technology. I think that's something that happens. Maybe is that they have to have the floodgates open so that they can bring their infrastructure in, but at the same time, it kind of leaves them exposed. So you're right. Right now, we do need to take advantage of it before they can, put us into a prison. All
You know
right.
what's
Well,
funny?
I'm gonna
Before
go
you
ahead.
go, I have a friend of mine who ended up being a 33rd degree Mason.
What? You're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
You have to tell me the story now, Jay.
from back in my hometown. But he's not allowed to. He won't tell me anything.
Yeah,
Like
they'll kill him. They'll kill
I don't
him.
see him very often now. But he's a guy that was traveling around town, going to people's houses and seeing ghosts in their house and speaking to their passed on loved ones and dead spirits in their house.
Oh, he was a
That's what he
medium.
did for. He did that for a job. At the same time, he was a 33rd degree Mason because he was a
My
Mason before
grandpa
he
was
got.
a Freemason too, so I don't know
He was
what
a Mason.
degree.
He was a Mason before he got into doing the ghost thing.
That's probably where
But
he
yeah,
learned it at, right?
because I haven't seen him in years since I lived back in my hometown. But he lives in my city now. I don't see him much, but I would try to
That's
ask him
really
about the. I'd ask him about the Mason stuff, and he just said he weren't allowed to tell about it. But the funny thing is, like, he just come from a small town like me. That I remember when he got into the Masons back home. But now he's like a successful businessman. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm
Like, while the
sure.
rest of us are
Mhm.
doing what
I'm sure
we're
he's got
doing.
a million degrees at the end of his business card. They all do. They over degree
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah. No, it's crazy.
That's
And
so interesting. How long do you
we
think
have
it
a.
took him to get there? Sorry.
I don't know, but we have a Mason Lodge in our hometown,
Oh,
like in Boys
yeah.
Town, like outside of the city here. And my cousin and a bunch of guys, when they were in high school, they were making a list of everybody who they thought were Masons
Oh,
in our town.
like at what age
And
was this? Was this high school?
yeah, high school.
You guys were, they
So they
had
were making
people joining the Masons in high school? It's crazy. Well,
no,
yeah,
no. My
yeah, I
cousin,
guess they do.
no, no, no. My cousin was in high school. Him and his friends got together making a list of all the people they
Oh,
thought were Masons in my area. So the principal was in the Masons Lodge too, and he found their paper. He called the cops and thought that they were putting out a hit and taking a list of all these guys' names.
are you,
It was hilarious. The cops
that
even thought it
is,
was funny when they talked to the kids. They were
that's
like, "No, we're just trying to make a
crazy.
list of who we thought were Masons in our town." Yeah, that was
I,
that, that was
I can't
that was
believe
funny.
that. That's, you know what though? You're so right. Cause like now that I've learned this system, like the fire department in my town, the courthouse, the police department, the high school, I'm pretty sure that there's an underwater base by like where the train tracks and we have like a dam and it's huge and they bring barges through and there's a star like on the seal for the high school and I'm like 99% convinced that it's probably a gate. It's either a gate or it's a like a my lab or some kind of training program because these mascots that they use for all the schools, those are actually like signals because they're going to take these kids during school and they're going to take them through a gate and they're going to go to like a my lab or an MK Ultra at a military base and there's 4 locations where they go. So depending on what school they're in and what the mascot is, we can actually figure out where they're taking the kids to for their training. And they connect
Yeah,
back with the like mythology, like the programming where they have like I guess like go words or certain like words where it like pulls them into like a different, hypnosis consciousness state of mind. All of that relates to the mythology in the local areas. So like one of the things like Renetta told us to do was like whenever we're starting to look into something new with research, she said always go and look up the mythology of it because it's probably true. Um,
in my town here where I'm
yeah.
from, it's kind of weird. It's we're such an old town, right? And it's pretty evil.
What town
Like
do you live in? If you feel comfortable, we can wait till I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream. If I end it,
no,
will
no, no,
you?
it's fine. People
Okay.
can hear this.
I
I
just
mean,
don't
it's
want
in
you to put
Frederick.
your information out if you don't feel
No,
comfortable.
no, it's Fredericton, New Brunswick, in East Coast Canada.
You're in New Brunswick?
Yeah, but there's so many people high in power getting caught for sex trafficking right now here. And one of the biggest, largest security firms, he was a ex-cop from out west in Canada that moved here and started a big security firm where you got to be a retired police officer to work for them.
Yeah.
That's one of the criterias. He just got busted, and he lives up the road from here. And there was 20 cop cars and all these vans. He got busted for child pornography.
Good. Fucking
And
that's
the Fredericton Police Force, they go to the gym I go to, and I'm hearing stories. They're just as corrupt as they can in putting drugs on the street. And a friend of mine, because I know a lot of people, even though I'm not involved in it, I had friends that were high up drug dealers, that not just like the gangster drug dealers, but I mean the business
So
suit.
glad you
The
said that,
business
not the police. You know, the drug dealers. That's who I would have known too.
no, but but it weren't like the gangster drug dealers you see on TV. You know, people walking around think they're just drug dealers. These were like the suit kind of guys. And he
I
told
used
me
to
that
be a drug dealer. No one would have ever
they would.
suspected it.
He said they went out on the private boat with the mayor of our city. They'd have to put their cell phones in a box, and he would lock it up. And the reason why he was invited, because he was kind of like mafia kind of guy, because he was the one that brought the cocaine and the hookers for like the
Oh, he
mayor
was
and
the
all his
most
friends
important
out on the
person at the
boat.
party then.
Yeah, yeah. So this is
Robin
kind of weird
Williams
stuff.
says cocaine's God's way of telling you have too much money.
Yeah, no, just the whole people rely on the police system and all that, but they're as crooked as they can be, right?
Yeah.
Like I told a cop one time, I said, "You guys are just corporate pigs." You know what I mean? You'll find an old lady for driving
They're
two over the
so
speed limit,
fucked up.
but yet you'll leave those meth heads out downtown that are breaking windows out of stores and harassing people, and they don't do nothing to them. You know what I mean?
I do. Los Angeles is going through that right now. They're ransacking the hell out of that city because they're trying. Man, they're taking children from like high school graduations and like deporting them, and fucking sad. It bugs me because you know what, my parents with the nursery they owned, like there was a whole Mexican family of like brothers and sisters that lived on the property, and I remember them like my whole life until I was 10 living there, and like Maria was our housekeeper, but she was like my nanny my whole life. And all of her brothers, like, they were like uncles to my brother and I. And they were so hardworking. Like, there was nobody else my parents were going to be able to hire that was going to have that work ethic and come in and be able to work like that all day. And it's just so fucked up because they let all these people in. And I think they let them in because they were taking their children. I don't know if you heard the stories about people coming over, holding kids, and the kids are like knocked out, sleeping, and the person that's carrying them doesn't look like they even have children, you know, and they're shuttling them all through the different airports once they got them over the border here in the United States. Like, there was a couple journalists that started to notice, and they were really trying like their due diligence to report it. But I mean, these handlers or whatever they're called, the traffickers or the people that are shuttling the kids, they've obviously been given all this information, like to the point of like they're fearing their lives because they're not letting the kids talk, and then they're not giving any information.
Yeah.
And now they're doing it back the other way, and it's like, what the hell is going on?
Oh, it's crazy world out there.
Yeah, it is. It is totally crazy. It doesn't even seem like the world I grew up in. I remember like arguing in school about if Area 51 is real and if if aliens exist. And now we're having these UFO Congress hearings and shit's coming out of the sky, and everybody's like, oh, it's totally normal.
Yeah, no.
Not.
No, it's just everyone's so brainwashed into their daily lives that they don't care, I guess, or they don't take notice to it, I guess.
Yeah, Aaron's been. He's like, at least he was willing to look at my pictures today and stuff, but like he like would not. It was like the more that I woke up, the more that like he was being programmed to like go against it. Like it was to the point where like I wasn't even allowed to talk about it to him because I think what it was is he's like afraid of like his paradigm being shattered.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
kind
of scary. It is scary to think about. Like you wake up and realize like, holy crap, like we're coming up on this like these insane evil entities that are, hoodwinking us and manipulating us. And the majority of people are not even waking up and realizing it. And it's like, we're running out of time. It's scary. It is a little scary to think about.
Kind of weird. And I was, when I'm back working all the time, like at a regular job or whatever, and I'm watching people going on the bus every day doing the same thing. It reminds me of that series Lucifer, where when people went to hell, they were in a hell loop. You know what I mean? Just doing the thing.
Like what was it called? The Good Place with I think it was like Kirsten Bell was in it. Oh, it's the girl from Pitch Perfect. She's really funny. And I think she's married to Dax Shepard, the guy that did Punk'd. I could be wrong. but it's similar to that. Like she dies and wakes up and she thinks she's in heaven, but it's actually not heaven. It's got Ted Danson in it. Who else is in it?
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it's real. The first season's good. The second season, I gave up after the second season. But basically, what happens is they figure out they're not in heaven, but they're not. It's not like, you know, like brimstone and fire. They're running a trial to see if they can make it look like it's heaven. But like people get there, right, and they're given like a house that they would be absolutely miserable in, and like everything is just like it's supposed to be perfect, and it looks like it when you first get there, but it's all tailored so that you're absolutely miserable, and you have to pretend like you're happy, because if you tell them you're not happy, they know, oh, you're not the right person that should be here.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm so tired.
Me too. I was yawning a little bit. But I wanted to get. I'm all right, but I wanted to get through this with you tonight. So
we're gonna have trouble getting up in the morning if you don't go to bed.
Oh well.
No, I don't feel bad. I want you to be able to get good sleep, because you're doing a lot of. Aren't you working on like manual labor and stuff? You're doing like houses or demolition or something.
Yeah. Went back to finally finish a house I've been waiting for 3 months for the carpenters to get done. So
that's hard.
A little bit of work.
It's hard work. I couldn't do it fucking without being at least eased into it. When we did popcorn on our old house, we did the entire house, renovated our house, and we renovated our neighbor's house. Like we did carpet, everything. Aaron and I even had to rebuild a wall. And I just remember like coming home every day, and it took every ounce of me to just even take a shower because I was so exhausted. So,
yeah, that happens.
And you go to the gym when you get home. So maybe you don't need sleep.
No, a little bit.
All right.
Okay, so we'll do this again. Get to the next.
I'm sure I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hey, you guys, thank you to my 3 people that showed up.
You'll get a lot on the replay. I did that with my live. I got like 100 some views over the next few days. People just seeing it. So,
hey, if I'm able to download this, I'll send you a link, or we'll figure it out. But I'll try and download it as soon as we turn it off. Okay.
If you can download it and send me into email tomorrow or whenever, I can upload it to my YouTube so I can share it there to help with. Okay. And I'll put the link to your YouTube that tell people to go subscribe, kind of thing.
Yeah, everybody share my YouTube link. Like you can put it on a bathroom stall. I don't care. Send it out. I want that to go viral, so at least I can do the live. That would be nice.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
I love you all. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye.